Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your favorite girl, Linda Laka, and you're here on Linda's Corner. Well, I create content around lifestyle, motherhood, parenting, family, and lots of other interesting stuff. Once again, you're very welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, if this is your first time of tuning into my channel, please feel free to click on the red subscribe button directly under the video. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. Please keep watching my videos, like my videos, share my videos, and also tell your family and friends about Leaders Corner. Well, someone asked me if I don't have problems, if I'm not bothered about the happenings in the country. Well, if I'm to tell you my problems, you will be baffled. Just that I choose not to allow my problems to overwhelm me. I also have my own issues, but life is just one. So why should I kill myself when I know I can handle some issues? Well, if you're having issues, if you're having problems, please just tune into Linda's Corner and relax. Okay, here you will feel at home. Okay, so just dump your problems, dump your worries, tune to Linda's Corner, relax, and then watch very exciting videos. Stay tuned. Welcome back to my channel. Well, while I was pondering upon, the content to share, the kind of content to create, someone actually sent me a message on Facebook, and the person was like, I really love your videos. You're trying, keep it up. I was like, well, thank you. And so the person said something like, you went to a boarding school, right? I said yes. The person was like, why don't you share your boarding school experience? I was like, really? The person said yes, just share it. And so today I will be telling you about my boarding school experience. Well, I attended Federal Government Girls College, Bakuri in Katsina State here in Nigeria. And if you're a Bakurian, a big shout out to you all. Yes, my fellow Bakurians. Hey. Well, we call ourselves Bakurians. That's because the school is located in Bakuri in Katsina State. Yes, and that school is a boarding school. It's a federal school where we have majority of the students as boarders, and then let's say say 5% of the students are day students and 95% boarders. Well, that's school I attended. So today I'll be telling you some of my boarding school experiences. There is this myth about boarding schools having, evil spirits, witches, wizards, and all. And so the person was like, "Did you experience all that in boarding school?" Well, sit tight. Let me tell you my own boarding school experience. Yes, a very long time ago. Say, it's been over 10 years now. While I was in school, I never saw those experiences as interesting. I saw them as tiring, scary, boring, and all. In fact, we always pray to go home. But now, in fact, the only time I see those things are in my dreams. Like, I always pray to have such wonderful experience, but unfortunately, I can't ever have that again. So I only see those things in my dream. And so now I want to talk about the scary part rather. Someone made it look like boarding schools have spirits, witches, and all that. Well, you don't expect to have over 1,000 people in a compound or in a confined environment and then expect all 1,000 persons to be clean. It's not possible. You will always have those who are possessed. You will have the very spiritual ones. You will have those who are in the in between. You can't have all. Let me just say 1,000. You can't have all 1,000 persons all good in this time and age. No, we can't have all that. Well, so you don't also expect a boarding school which houses over 1,000 girls to, you know, be very clean, like to not to have any um kind of, or not to have people who are possessed with evil spirit and every other kind of spirit is not possible. Well, let me tell you how mine went. Well, in my own school, my own time, I never experienced any of such. I never saw a witch. I never saw a wizard. None ever came to me. Yes, but I had stories, and there are things we saw. There are things we heard. There were very scary things we heard and saw. That actually made us believe that those things really existed. Yes, but personally, I never experienced such. There was this when I was in JS2. In JS2 dorm, there was something that happened one night, and that one girl said she was sleeping, and then she saw some persons walking in the middle of the room. They were walking and walking and looking all scary, and they had all those zoo and all. So when she saw that, she got scared and she shouted, "Blood of Jesus!" And they got confused and they're trying to disappear. And then they held on to one girl's hair and they pulled her thread and they disappeared. Well, that was the story, very childish, right? Yes, but then it sounded very real and sounded very scary to us. That was one of such experiences. And then lots of other stories about persons, some students getting up to go eat themselves, and then they see some old woman, or they see some people taking their bath in the bathroom. They hear some kind of voices. Well, lots of stories. In fact, there were some of, there was this story about there was this fruit. I think the shea butter fruit. Yes, that also call it tapu. Yeah, that's what they call it. And so very early in the morning, this fruit falls down. So when we wake up in the morning, we go hunt for this fruit. Like, to just go to look for the fruit. Just go. This fruit. It falls down, like, let's say, in the night. And so when you come out in the morning, you can pick the fruit just around the tree. So there was this story. I don't know how true it is or how true it was, but it was actually a story. It was a thing, and it made us scared too. There was this we used to have one matron we call um Gogo, yeah, Gogo Mori, something like that. Yeah, have a matron like that. And so she was sleeping, and then started hearing some students like saying, give me tapu, throw it, leave this one, pick this one, see there, pick it. And she checked her time. It was still like far into the night, like say around 2 or around 3. And then she wasn't even expecting any student to be out by then, because we actually have, like, we have several hostels or dormitories, and these hostels are locked and by the matrons, and the matrons go back to their rooms with the keys. So how did the students come out of the hostels and then to come and pick that fruit at that time of the night? Well, so she was wondering, because the noise kept coming, kept coming, and then she got up, she opened her door, so she came out. She looked for the students around, because there was a tree close to her house. She didn't see any students. So while she was going back, she kept hearing the sound, and then she turned to, like, who the hell is that? She received a very hot slap and she fainted. And that was the story. Well, yes, then it scared us as kids, but trust me, I never saw any of that. I only heard that as a story, and it was very interesting. Or like, it was very scary. It scared us, and it formed part of the story we told people. Yes, it formed part of our stories, and I must say it was a very wonderful story. But now, and I just asked myself, oh, was that thing ever real? Like, did it ever happen? Well, I don't know. That being said, there was another story about one senior. Yes, one senior, she went to fetch water, and then after fetching, she kept her buckets, and then, like, she had so many buckets. She went to fetch from the bowl in the night after night prep. So night prep ends, say, around 9 p.m. So we expected to go back to the hostel then by 10, lights out. So she went to get water immediately after prep. So that she'll take the water to her hostel. After fetching the bucket, she dropped the bucket. I think she went back to lock the tap or to get another bucket, and then she saw a very small man dragging one of her buckets into the bush. Yes. And so ordinarily one would be scared and maybe run away. But this girl summoned courage, and she went to that little man and she started dragging the bucket to the man. A very little man that some persons call bush baby. I don't know, but something like that, that usually hold mats in their armpits and lamp. I don't know how true that story is now, but that was actually one of the stories we had. She was dragging the lamp with the bucket with the little man, and then the all of a sudden the little man disappeared. Then she started running. She started running. Oh, did she even run? I think the story we heard then was that the other girl that went with her to the post started running, like to go and seek for help or something. Well, all of a sudden the little man disappeared and she started feeling fire. She started feeling this burning sensation, shouting fire, fire. Fire was burning, but nobody was seeing any fire. Then the other girl that was with her had to run. She had to run to go seek for help. She ran and ran and she was now round shouting help, help. And then she went to call the security men around. They came and then they helped her. They carried her. She was crying, shouting fire, fire, burning, burning, but nobody saw any fire, but she was feeling this burning sensation, and that was how it happened. And then somehow, she was actually our senior, and she was my senior. She was not in the same house with me, so I don't really know how that story ended. But this was another story I heard while I was in the boarding school. Well, I never experienced such. And then there were stories of students, like spirit students, who come back to the classroom after prep to write on the board. There are times we go back to, let's say in the morning when we go to classrooms, we see some writings. Maybe sometimes we clean the board, but when we come back in the morning, we see some things on the board, like as if people were learning. Well, I don't know who get to write all those things, but these were some of the stories or some of the things we experienced. And then the story that followed such was that the spirits came to write on the board, and wow, that's it. In fact, there were lots of other things that happened. There was even this time that we were sleeping the night, and this one actually had this. I was hearing this very funny sound, like cover shoe, what we call couscous. Yes, I heard that one. I heard it. I just covered my head. I heard, and I was praying. I was praying. I was so scared. I was just praying. And the morning before, I don't even before morning. I just slept off, and that was the only thing I know I ever heard while I was in boarding school. And there are times you hear cats crying. There are times you hear, very funny sound like that of a baby, and there were lots of very wonderful sounds we heard then. I don't know how true those things are, but I know I heard some, but I never saw any. Thank God I never saw. Thank God I never saw. I never experienced any, but I know I just heard some. Then I heard some other stories from other people. Well, these were some of the things that happened in my boarding school. Well, as for whether my children will go to boarding school, well, if I have my way, they will go. Yes, they will go if I have my way and if my husband allows her, and if they also want to go, why not? Because I know the boarding school, or going to a boarding school, actually made me independent. Yes, it made me. When I came out, I was very independent. I could do things on my own. I could even save money. It made me if I did, let me just summarize it all. It made me independent. There were things my mates who attended day schools couldn't do, but I could do them. My mom could actually leave my siblings in my care and go out, and I would take care of them perfectly, comfortably. I could, do lots of things. She could actually entrust me with something, and then whenever she comes back to ask for it, she will get it. This was some of the things boarding school made me, you know, I was able to achieve, or I would say, to the things that um, going to a boarding school actually added to my life. Yes, it made me to be wise with money. Well, my little baby is crying. I need to go attend to my baby. Well, thank you very much for sitting and listening to my very wonderful stories, my very wonderful boarding school experience. Thanks for listening. Well, thank you for tuning in to Linda's Corner. If this is your
If
first
this
time
is the
of
first time
joining
of
tuning
coming
to
to my
Linda's Corner, please feel
blog,
free to hit the red subscribe button directly under the video, and then feel free to like my videos, share my videos if you're a returning subscriber. Thank you very much. And please, if there's any other thing you want me to talk about, or any content, anything you want me to share, please feel free to drop a comment. Thank you very much for being a part of Windows Corner. Thank you. Bye.